Officials keeping an eye on things from up above. And the starting 11 selected by Mamelodi Sundowns coach Jerry Shabalala. He's made 3 changes, one of those injury enforced with Karabo Makurabechi forced out after the shoulder injury she picked up in the semi-final. Molana Matandi and Oratila Mukwena also dropping to the bench. Adelaide Dlamini, she has been rock solid once more. Considered just the 1 goal in the tournament so far. Antonelli Nklapo is also voted in the best 11 for the group stage. Lilina Daweti, the tournament's top scorer with 4 goals, lining up alongside her partner in crime in attack, Melinda Kagadiete. Has been involved in 5 goals herself, a couple of goals and 3 assists, including 2. She's laid on for Daweti. Talia Schmidt, Regina Mogalola and Ruda Malozzi, the 3 players brought in to the Sundowns side this evening. Mogalola hoped to avoid the fate that befell her in last year's final. She was sent off very late on after appearing as a substitute in the closing moments. That didn't, though, prevent Sundowns from going on to win the title. Down here before kick-off in Rabat. And it is ASFAR who gets this CAF Women's Champions League final underway. Both teams with a perfect 4 wins from 4 so far. Something will have to give tonight, with only one side able to write their name into the history books over the course of the next 90 minutes. We do, of course, have the potential for extra time as well, if it is at level at the end of regulation time. And an early free kick here for Sundowns. Chance perhaps to make a mark right away. Butamelo Rabale has been in fine form in this competition. Play this ball in. And well wide of the near post. No trouble there for Khadija Uramichi. And a brilliant fingertip save right at the end of the semi-final a few days ago, Uramichi. Tenyot, left knee heavily strapped. There's something that coach Mohamed Aliwa alluded to in the lead up to the final. It did come into the tournament depleted with injuries. And Drady and Tenyot, 2 of their key performers, been at 100%. But they are in the starting lineup this evening, to much relief to the supporters of ASFAR as well as their coach. Daweti managed to get past a couple of players, but no further. This is Mpane. Like a handball by Cherry, not spotted though by the referee. This is Redwani trying to find Drady. Klapo. Now, Mogalola. Good looking ball out to the right hand side here. Opportunity to cross. And it's Duha Amamu, who flicks it out for a throw-in eventually. Well, across from the other side, this time hit it away by Chiri. Mamelodi closes out to Redwani. Chiri got her wish. She said she wants to come face to face with Mamelodi Sundowns in this tournament. And the two teams meet with all on the line here tonight. This is Hello Bentona. Wasn't originally listed on the starting lineup. She has come in at the expense of Najat Badri. Badri also had been struggling as well physically. And Bentona back in after missing the semi-final through suspension, put twice in the group stage. Well, she did excel in those opening 3 games. Named in the tournament's best 11 for the group stage. Hello Bentona. 10 yards. Chance here for ASFAR. And it's Draidi already with 3 goals to her name in this tournament. A little hesitant there, Sundowns in defence, and Draidi able to get a shot away. Got there in front of Clappo. Didn't really catch it cleanly though. Duani, Bentona forced to concede the throw-in. Getting the ball back. Mogalola. Mbane. Long range effort, and that was a tricky one in the end for Eremici. Did well to keep hold of it. Mbane put herself a goal against Wadi Degla in the 5-0 thumping on match day 2 in the group stage, and tried to catch Eremici out there. Mbane. It's well done by Mamelodi. Couldn't make the most of it in the end. Conceded just the once so far, Khadija Eremici. Blessing shine, Akbamadzi losing out to Kagadiete. Mbale held it inside to a teammate, Daweti. He's under pressure, Daweti. And barely made contact in the end. Grimacing as well, the Sundowns number 16. Scored in all 3 of the group games. Doetti, this is 10 yards. Coming the other way for ASFAR. Good looking ball into the far post, and it forces Mamelodi to concede a corner. That is a concerning sign for ASFAR. Teniati down, it looked to be. She played that cross in, it was a non-contact injury. Definitely a worry. Both those legs of hers heavily strapped in order to allow her to take part in the final. And this would have been something that Mohamed Aliwa was dreading coming into this match. She has been one of the standout performers of the tournament. Fatima Teniat was voted in the team of the tournament at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations and scored twice in the group stage as well here. A couple of penalties in the 2-1, a come from behind victory against Green Buffaloes. It's the only time that ASFAR have conceded. Looks like she's bitten her tongue. It's been an awkward landing, but a painful situation for Teniat. Adelaide Lamini voted the best goalkeeper at last year's tournament, as well as at the recent Women's Africa Cup of Nations. So Amamu will take this corner for ASFAR, taken towards the near post. This is Draidi, worked back out to Amamu. And well defended by Mogolola. She was able to prevent it though from going behind for another corner kick. Short this time to Teniat. Glamini claims it well with Bentner rising to challenge her. Distracted by the presence of the ASFAR defender. Akromadzi. Joined ASFAR in September on a 2-year deal. The Ghanaian. Previously have a spell in Israel with Hapoel Beersheva. Damos, strong challenge from Mamelodi. She's won it back here. The space for it. A couple of yellow shirts to try and pick out. Headed away well by Akromadzi. Schmidt, just for a moment as if she might be able to have a pop at goal. Watched it well. That's Lamini. Have considered just once in 9 matches at this competition across 2 editions, Sundowns. And slight confusion between Akromadzi and Deremici. Akromadzi was waiting, looking for a call which to her mind never came. Ballet clips it in. It's going to work its way out to Morifi here. Floated back in it to the area. Bentner headed clear, but not all that far. 10 out. Well read by Redouani, stepping in to intercept. They launch a counter here, ASFAR. 10 out. Set up Adriani for the only goal on Wednesday in the semi-finals. Chiri. Amamu. 1-2, worked well there with Adriani. Amamu. Still has it, Amamu, tries to cut it back. Down goes Adriani. Is it going to be a penalty? That looks to be the decision, certainly. Redwani goes down, and the referee points to the penalty spot. That's excellent work down the left by Dua Amamu. Trying to pull it back, it was deflected, and it was the captain, Zanele Nklapo, who, in attempting to clear, just wiped out Zineb Redwani. Perhaps of, I think it was Nklapo looking at the replay, caught Redwani by the knee. As Mogalole has something on it to get it away, but Nklapo going for the same ball, and it's going to be a penalty kick here for ASFAR. And no surprise to see Fatima Tanyart put the ball on the spot. Converted a pair of penalties against Green Buffaloes in the group stage. Can she give the home side a dream start here against the reigning champions? So Tanyart from the spot, and it just gets beyond Dlamini. She gets the right way, the Sundowns keeper. Couldn't quite stretch far enough, and Tanyart wheels away in celebration as the stadium erupts. ASFAR striking with 15 minutes played in this final. Botsmiller Rabale urging her teammates not to let their heads drop. So a third goal of the competition for Tanyart, all of them from the spot. Far away at all from it, keeping it out, Dlamini. Just a few centimetres beyond her. Went for placement, overpowered Tanyart and was rewarded. Now Sundowns have scored in every game they've played so far in Morocco. 5 against Wadi Degla, 4 against Tipu Mazembe. Just the one in the semi-final though. Redwani. Battling hard for it, Gasago. And the decision goes against her. CAF President Patrice Motsepe in the stands tonight. Marifi. Dlamini towards Marifi. And they've won it back here as far. Tanyart. It goes to ground. Referee says a play on. And this time, Redwani does win the free kick. She was caught around the heel. It's going to be first yellow card as well of the final. Marato Yusago enters the referee's notebook. Just arriving late on Redwani. Confirmation of that booking for the Sundowns midfielder. It's on by Barley. Mamu almost on it back, and Damas does get across to set. This touches off the ASFAR midfielder. Barley. It's her fine curling efforts against Simba Queens that sent Sundowns through to a second consecutive final. Of the players who started against Sakas Ladies a year ago, involved from the get-go here as well for Sundowns. Barney, no way past Ghislaine Churi. Sundowns do also have Nancy McGree on the bench tonight. Got the second goal in last year's final. To go off injured against Wadi Degla in the group stage. Doherty. Out. Just gliding past a couple of Sundowns opponents. And then side down by Rabale. Wonderful player to watch. Fatima Tanyalt, and this was the spot kick. She tucked beyond Dile Dlamini. Keeping a cool head, Mohamed Aliwa. She's still early on in this final. Redwani again, brought down. It's going to be another booking, this time for the Sundowns captain, Sanele Mklapo. Don't have too many complaints about that. Made sure Redwani went no further. Looking ragged at the back. Mamelodi Sundowns, certainly don't say that all too often. On the title last year without conceding a goal in 5 matches. 530-minute run was ended late on in the group stage. Elsa Queens grabbed the consolation, and Sundowns a 2-1 victory on match day 1. Right at the start of this 2-week tournament. Mamu and 10 yards. Debating who's going to take this free kick. It is going to be 10 yards to swing it in. That left foot of hers. 4 ASFAR players inside the Sundowns box here, including the captain, Aziza Rabba. This member of the squad at 36 years of age now, Rabba. was at the African Cup of Nations in July, but didn't see any playing time. Thomas as well. Away inside the area. Sundowns clips it in. Dlamini doesn't hold on to it, and it's volleyed away. Doherty. Just off balance there. Mamelodi. Played in Australia and Belarus previously. Experienced Mamelodi. Rabat. Over again. Good touch from Tanyard. Just misjudging it, and this is Morifi. He's like to get forward down that left-hand side. Tanyard slow to get up, but let's get back to her feet eventually. Mbane. Chested down by Rabale. Doherty. Poked away from her, but Morifi might have a chance here. Defending in a solid block, the hosts. Tells Rabat to move forward. Short option. Not on. Valle. Schmidt back to the Lesotho captain. This is Schmidt. Started the opening game. Talea Schmidt. So brought on as a substitute the next 3 outings. Came on in the first half against Simba as part of a tactical switch, and she's included from the beginning this evening. Tanyard has Amamu to her left, finds her. Amamu. He got beyond Morifi. Instead it deflects off the Sundowns player for a corner. Pretty good crowd on hand here for the final. Giving ASFAR an extra incentive. Vast majority of the supporters in attendance on their side, and Tanyard yellow carded there. A handful of Rodo Mamelodi shirts didn't go unnoticed by the referee. So 3 yellow cards already as we a few minutes away from the 30-minute mark in Rabat. Mogalola. Morifi putting Bensler under pressure. And then Redwani able to keep it in. But one of her teammates is down. It is Sihan Bukami. One of 6 ASFAR players to start every game of this tournament. just used 15 members of their squads coming into tonight's match. Doetti might squeeze through here, and what a save to deny Rapale, although I'm not sure it would have counted. Looks like the referee's assist had a flag up on the far sideline. Take nothing away though from Khadija Eremici. She wasn't to know. Well, no question about the offside, but fantastic stop nonetheless from Eremici. Morifi, good first time layoff. Rapale, Doetti, that's not quite where she was expecting it. Made a good run, Doetti. Rapale couldn't quite deliver it into the area she needed it. The 2019 Junior College Player of the Year in the United States, Antonella Rapale. She takes this corner kick. They're on towards Mogolola. It's quite happy just to clear their lines. Redwani, caught late there, Redwani. And another yellow card, this one for Rhoda Mamelodi. Just a reminder that we do have VAR available if needed, and that is a pretty poor challenge. Just looking at the replay, hopefully for Redwani's sake. She'll be able to carry on, but it's a nasty challenge. Late, and what a flush on the ankle. Redwani herself dismissed for a not dissimilar challenge in the group stage. Head in hands. Looks to be. Well, at least she's able to get back to her feet, but what kind of shape is she going to be in overall? I think just asking Benzema to hold off. The footage perhaps is checked again. Cynthia Amadome of Togo. Gestures that it is going to be looked at here from the display over on the side of the pitch. I think you may have to fear for Rhoda Mamelodi here. Having seen the replay, she could well be in trouble. Late and catches Redwani. A flush on the right ankle. Well, this would be a disaster for Sundowns. A goal down already. Now they're going to be a player down as well, with only just over half an hour played. Taking her time to make sure she comes to the right decision here. Cynthia Amadome. And she's making her way over to Mamelodi. yellow card is going to be upgraded to red. She knows it as well. As Mamelodi Sundowns are down to 10 players here in the CAF Women's Champions League final. As Mamelodi is sent off for a poor challenge on Zineb Redouani. Solitary tap on the shoulder from the opponent she fouled. Really makes it even more difficult now for Sundowns as they look to defend their title. Barney, repeated by Draidi. She too, with that left thigh of hers, sporting some really heavy strapping. Doherty looking for Gadiete. There's a shot here, blocked by Akbomadzi. Magalola. And Ripale just flicked it around the corner. She was then fouled by Bukami. Trying to organise her defence, Khadija Urimichi. Set piece might be the best way back into this match for the Sundowns, and pretty comfortable stop in the end for Urimichi. Keeper of her calibre likely to really be troubled by a shot from that sort of a distance. Barney can't find Doherty on this occasion. Schmidt. It's an unused substitute in the Africa Cup of Nations final against Morocco. Talia Schmidt. Flamini. Clapple. Put a toe end on it. Amamu. And Schmidt just able to keep it away from Adamus. This time she leaves it for Ripale, and it's poached away from her by Bukami, but Ripale uses her strength to quickly win it back. In the league and domestic double this year with ASFAR, Mohamed Aliwa has been at the club since 2008. Formerly worked as the youth coach. And successes with the age grade teams, though, allowed him to make the step up to the top job as the women's coach in December of last year. To cap off the whirlwind year with a continental title this evening. Going to plan it so far for ASFAR. Vale. Marifi swings it in. First time strike from Doherty. Given the fright of their lives by Simba Queens. Those are the words of Jerry Shabalala. Semi-finals. Certainly up against it here in the final Mamelodi Sundowns. Barney. Kanamamu keep it in play, she can, but Doherty wants to ease her aside. So moves out to the Moroccan. Lovely silky footwork again from Tanyelt. Lola. Antoine was running into Bakami. Spin getting the better of Schmidt there. This is Damos. Trying to find Tanyelt. Successful. Marifi. Barney. Mogolola. Schmidt. Misdirected pass there. Nowhere near Marifi. Benzina. Shield up ahead, and Drady can only help it on. Barney. Again cut out by Benzina. Tanyat. Excellent ball towards Amamu. Barney across to try and cover Amamu. Gets beyond to Barney. Amamu straight at Dlamini. Did brilliantly well. Duha Amamu to shake off Ramanani and Barney. Finish though, not quite good enough to beat Antele Dlamini. Too close to the Sundowns keeper. Again, lofted forward by Mbane. Schmidt this time. Well, ricochets off. Bukami. Well, Bukami goes down, but it's going to be a free kick for Mamelodi Sundowns. Ball played out just moments ago by Tanyat towards Amamu. Got the better of Mbane as well. Knows that well could have been a second goal. Mohamed Aliwa. Zapo. Damos. Knocked on by Tanyelt. This is Schmidt. Ahead to Marifi. Guganiete coming back from an offside position. Approaching half-time in Rabat. It's been a challenging opening 45 minutes for Mamelodi Sundowns and their coach, Jerry Shabalala. Matzi, Rabat, ball towards Amamu, keeps it in play, but she too, I think, to an offside position. Well, they're enjoying what they're seeing so far, the ASFAR supporters. Team of the Royal Armed Forces, Rabat Space Club. Klapo. Ballet fouled by Rabat. Ballet is down. Some discomfort as well. Trod on the right foot, I think. So we get the indication from the fourth official. How many minutes will be added on here at the end of this first half? Yellow card for the ASFAR captain. It will be a couple of minutes extra to be played here. It's not been pretty watching for the few Sundowns fans here so far. Headed away by Bukami. Twani slices it in into touch. It's going to be a free kick here as Gasago goes to ground. Players grappling at each other's shirts. Saga, though, gets the decision to go her way. Talea Schmidt. So she'll take this set piece. Well, it certainly would turn the momentum around if they can snatch an equaliser here right at the end of the first half. And she comes, gets a hand on it. Might be enough. Lola. Chiri clears it again. High arcing ball into the box. Will it drop here for Sundowns? Does in the end. And well wide from Mogolola. That is the end of the first 45 minutes here in Rabat. It is the hosts, ASFAR, who have a sender 1-0 advantage against Mamelodi Sundowns, but perhaps more importantly, they also have an extra player too. First half red card for Roda Mulodzi, following a VAR review, has left the defending champions with something of a mountain to climb. They're down to 10. And trailing as well. Let's look at the first half statistics. Much like it was in the semi-final for ASFAR, they haven't had the lion's share of possession. It's been dominated by Sundowns. They've also had more attempts. But the only goal coming from the penalty spot, scored by Fatima Tenyat after the foul in the box by the Mamelodi Sundowns captain, Zanele Nakhlapo. Around 15 minutes in to the final. Tenyat with their third goal of the tournament, all three coming from the penalty spot. So that is how we stand. Let's take a look back at some of the highlights from the opening half. The Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium, the setting for tonight's final. This is a rubber. And Zanele Nakhlapo captaining their respective sides. It was ASFAR who got us started. The opportunity for their leading scorer coming into the final. Draidi scored the win in the semi-finals off the mark there. Long-range strike from Bambanani and Bane. And then the only goal so far, coming on 60 minutes, Fatima Tenyat rolling it beyond Adile Dlamini. He's named in the best 11 during the group stage. Tenyat. And then huge moments in the first half as well. Roda Molalti, a yellow card upgraded to red for that challenge on Zineb Redwani. One-range free kick from Kukasago. Held on to by Eremici. So ASFAR with the lead. Welcome back to the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium here in Rabat. After the opening 45 minutes of this year's CAF Women's Champions League final, it is ASFAR, the home side from Morocco, who leads the reigning champions at Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa by a goal to nil. Fatima Taniat with the only goal so far from the penalty spot. And Sundowns also are down to 10 players. Ruda Mulodzi sent off in the first half for a poor challenge on Zineb Redwani. As a yellow card was upgraded to red following a VAR review. Well, they have never lost in this competition. Mamelodi Sundowns, they are staring down the barrel with just 45 minutes remaining in this campaign. Can they turn things around dramatically in the second half? Coach Jerry Shabalala says he has so much belief in his players, calls them his soldiers, because they have to fight the odds on numerous occasions, but they're going to have to do it tonight if they are going to come away with the trophy once more. We're not going to have a substitution here for Sundowns. Tisetsu Makubela is going to come on for Lerato Gasago. So that's the first change that either side has made this evening. She'll have to watch on from the bench. Gasago has Sundowns a restart here in Rabat, trying to plot their way back into this final. But they have their work cut out for them. Redwani crosses it in towards the far post, and Kubela involved right away. They've got a shout from her keeper, and she let go behind for a corner kick. Dlamini. True, that wasn't what they had in mind. Cheaply giving away possession. Redwani. Mogalola keeping a watchful eye on it. Redwani is skipped beyond her though. Got some help, Mogalola. As it was thumped out for a corner. Shorts by Teniat. Guided in and off the crossbar. Keeper got her hands on it. The follow-up is wide. Terrific stop from Dlamini to deny Aziza Rabat so nearly a second goal right at the start of this second half for ASFAR. Bukami couldn't steer the rebound home. Acres of space for Rabat. Fingertips of Dlamini, surely it would have been all over had that gone in, but keeping her side just about alive, Adelaide Dlamini. Coming to the rescue, a Sundowns keeper. Kubela as part of the South Africa squad at the Africa Cup of Nations, but didn't make the matchday squad for the final against Morocco here. Tanyouts has lost it. Rabale. Tanyouts stayed down. Rabale strikes Akbomadzi. Oh, I think she could have used the hands of that still inside her area, Hiramichi, but isn't taking any chances. Already with 3 goals, Rabale. So Schmidt at the corner, Hiramichi straight at her. Unchallenged at that near post. Rabat so close to finding that all-important second goal for the Moroccans. Would have been an awfully long way back for Sundowns. The player less. Amamu. Lively in that first half, Duha Amamu. And she's won her team a free kick here. Down on his haunches, Mohamed Aliwa. Strain perhaps getting to him with the stakes so high in this final. Zoati, Makubela. Poked out by Tanyouts. Second appearance in the competition for Tsitsu Makubela. First sight of her since an opening 2-1 win against Bielsa Queens in the group stage. In fact, she did actually come off the bench against Simba Queens in the semi-finals. But certainly didn't feature against Wadi Degla or Tipu Mazembe. Tawati setting off a fraction too soon. Pamatsi, this is Bentana. Bukami. Twani giving chase, and she's going to get there too. Fine work from Zineb Redwani. She's drawn the foul from the Sundowns captain, and it's a second yellow for her, surely. Zanele Nakhlapo was booked in the first half. Referee, yes, she is. It is going to be a sending off. Just confirming it was in fact her second yellow, and it goes from bad to worse for Nakhlapo. Sundowns are down to 9. 7 minutes into the second half. As the captain, Zanele Nakhlapo, is dismissed for her second booking. She has to trundle off. Well, it's going to be nothing short of a miracle here, surely, for Sundowns to come back from only a goal behind, but now 2 players down as well. Remarkable. Has gone badly wrong for them tonight in Rabat. And she was at fault as well for the penalty Clapo in that first half wasn't booked for that challenge. And did pick up a yellow card later in that first half, and a challenge on Redwani, earning her marching orders. ASFAR looking to take immediate advantage as well. They've sent 7 players forwards for this free kick. And it's Draidi, and it is a second, straight off the training grounds, belted home by Ibtisam Draidi. And surely there's no way back for Mamelodi Sundowns. 2-0 behind, down to 9 players rather. And Ibtisam Draidi with a joint leading 4th goal of the tournament. Drawing level with Lalona Daweti of Sundowns. Adelaide Lamini can just look on in dismay. You sense something like that might be in the works. The number of players they sent forwards. Draidi just peeled away from everyone. Thrashed it beyond Dlamini. Terrific hit from the number 9 for ASFAR. The top scorer domestically with 32 goals last season. She may not score a more important one than that. Well, he wasn't too keen to get overexcited after the first, but he knows his sides are edging ever closer to the title now. Mohamed Aliwa. Well, you have to give them bundles of credit. Without 3 key players for the duration of the tournament, they just got on with it. Been helped either by a couple of suspensions too in the semi-final. Again though, shook off those issues. They are in dreamland here tonight. Bane should have taken over the captain's armbands. Daweti, Eremici out quickly, bravely as well, the feet off Daweti, and was caught by the Sundowns attacker. Excellent goalkeeping from Eremici, certainly caught by Daweti. She has been superb throughout the competition. Khadija Eremici be desperate to see this one out as well. Having some ice applied to her left hand. She was one of 3 players who started the defeat by South Africa here just over 3 months ago. Patrice Motsepe looking on. The South African has relinquished his title as Sundowns club owner to avoid a conflict of interest following his election as CAF president. No doubt though, very much rooting for Sundowns this evening. It doesn't look like it's going to be their night though. Another look at that second goal. Just rolled invitingly by Tanyart straight to Draidi. She crashed it beyond Adelaide Lamini. Her 4th goal of these finals. Has only conceded just the 1 goal in the competition in 9 previous matches, Sundowns, but they've come completely unstuck tonight. helped by ill discipline in the slightest. Mamelodi. Bane. Igadiete. That's Marifi. In fact, who tried to steer it into an empty net as Eremici came out. Got nowhere near it, and Mamelodi was back there to make sure that Sundowns didn't halve the deficit. Not sure what happened there, totally misjudged by Eremici and Marifi, who scored in last year's final. Very nearly getting on the score sheet again. Wasn't on target at all, but Mamelodi had to take care of it all the same. A let off for ASFAR there. Not sure whether she was still shaken up somewhat by the collision with the Wetty just before Eremici, but got that one horribly wrong. Fortunately for ASFAR, the error went unpunished. Well, may well have been offside, in fact. So, that drama could well be an all for none. Igadiete flicks it out to the left. This is Marifi, deflected behind. Bale. Amamu winning it back, Redwani. Well intercepted by Akupela, but the attack once more, ASFAR. Traidi tried to knock it across to 10 yards. Bane to take charge. Leader response for Sundowns. Eremici clings onto it gratefully. Damos, touch from Redwani, whips it in, Akupela, very calmly done, composure just to chest it back to Dlamini, Bale, Bentona intercepts. Outs. Bane deals with it. Duarte was just waiting on that pass, allowed Chiri to step in and get there ahead of it. 10 yards. They will have to turn to some fresh legs here. Jerry Shabalala. Exhausting work out there, playing with 2 players less. Sundowns, Dlamini clearing it just in time. Back it comes though. Draidi, Redwani. Oh, she was going to leave it because she thought she was offside, and it was indeed the case. was hoping that Drady would realise, and very tight call. I think the right one, but Kwani was hoping that Drady would try and got to the end of her own pass there. Rane. Damos. Alamu. No way past on this occasion. Bale. Grabber getting there just in time. Schmidt. Shuri uncompromising. Schmidt going with a pretty direct style. Sundowns, surprisingly, says Marifi. Nearly pull one back there. Fine save though from Eremici to prevent Kaganiete from making it 2-1. Eremici again. Staying down. Marifi put in a dangerous low ball into the box. Took a touch off Akbamadzi, and Kaganiete nearly stealing in and putting it past Eremici. Again, ASFAR keeper doing very well indeed. Knew that was an opportunity to grab a lifeline. Jerry Shabalala stretches out here for Sundowns. I think it's Botomela Rapale. Definitely looks to be struggling. After the disappointment of falling short in last year's semi-finals, ASFAR returns a year later with the backing of the home support, looking to reach the top step of the podium. And they are very much on course to do just that. Predicted to be something of a tactical war this evening. May not have been exactly the case, but the cards certainly have been dished out at regular intervals. Mamelodi Sundowns receiving end of 2 red cards. Rodo Mulodzi and Snelly Naklapo are both dismissed. Still receiving treatment. Pretty sure it is Ribale. Well, at the very least, this will allow Sundowns to catch their breath ahead of the Royal Moroccan Football Federation, Fouza Legja. Also sat in the same box as Patrice Motsepe. the Moroccan men's team heading to the World Cup in Qatar, which gets underway in just a week's time. Morocco drawn in a pretty challenging section alongside 2018 runners-up Croatia, as well as Belgium, who made the semi-finals 4 years ago, and Canada too, making their return to the finals after a 36-year absence. So Kagani is going to be replaced here. Double switch coming up. Triple switch, in fact. So Rabala replaced by Kakana. Tandy also on. And Answe McCree, who got the second in the final a year ago, was also named player of the final in 2021. So he's introduced as well with just over 20 minutes to go. Dawati doesn't look as if the 4 goals she scored in these finals are going to be enough. Kept in check in the knockout phase. Rabah. Rolling away from Damos. This is McGree. It's hurt against Wadi Degla. To go off from the first half of that 5-0 rout. Rabah. Chiri. Down to Damos by Redwani, but ran into trouble there. Bentana. Poked away from Akbar Madsi. But the whistle goes against Marifi. Bukami. Sundowns players appealing for a handball against Bukami. Naramichi. Pumps it long, header one by Makubela. Bukami, this is Benzina. Ronnie showed a good speed down that right-hand side. Should get the cross in here, she can, but it's too close to Dlamini. Into the box, easily dealt with by Akbar Madsi. Amamu. Tanyelt. May have just bobbled before she struck that one. Barney clearing it before Drady can intervene. Kikana. as a substitute against Tipi Mazembe. Final round of group games, scored in stoppage time of that 4-0 win. Touch eluding her there, just took her eye off it. Redwani Damos. Bentona. 10 yards. It's the ball down the left-hand side here. Finds Amamu. She runs straight into Mbane. And Mbane interfered with by Redwani. Amamu trying to prevent Mbane from taking it quickly as well. Referee steps in. Back by Damos. Draidi caught from behind. It's going to be a free kick for ASFAR. Matandi mulling that one over with the referee. Started 3 of the past 4 games, Matandi. What she hadn't started before was the game against Tipi Mazembe. She was at risk of picking up a 1-match ban. Having been booked earlier on in the group stage. Here's tonight from the bench though. Rapper had a header tipped onto the crossbar when it was 1-0. Start of the second half. It didn't really matter too much though, because moments later, Abdelsamat Draidi doubled the lead for the Moroccans. Rapper strikes it goalwards. Yards. So, a goal from the penalty spot set ASFAR on their way this evening. The stars of the tournament, unquestionably. She'll remember the bitter end to the Africa Cup of Nations final in July. It looks as if it's going to be all smiles in round about 15 minutes time here. Bukami has just been nudged there, crashing to the deck, and feeling the effects of that heavy landing. Straight down on her lower back. Oh, the party just beginning, you sense, for the ASFAR supporters here in Morocco. Well, the men's side were crowned African champions back in 1985. 37 years on, it looks as if the women's team will emulate that achievement here in Rabat. It's been quite a year as well on the continent for Moroccan clubs. Wydad Casablanca, the current Champions League winners. RS Berkane won the Confederation Cup last time out. They beat Wydad's CAF Super Cup. ASFAR women looking to complete the set this evening with the women's Champions League crown as well. Some rather forlorn looks on the support on the faces of those Sundowns supporters. Rabat. Morifi. Well, what can they do here in these final 10 minutes, Sundowns? Tandy, Schmidt. Tandy. Rabat cuts it out. Damos. Amamu. She's back into the action. Bukami. She's dwelling on the ball too long there in Mpane. Damos. Jahidi. Poor touch. This is Kikana. Player out on the left if Cabela can find her. Instead, she's lost it, and Tanyout come forward here. Good challenge. Needs to deny Tanyout by Mpane. They have to throw caution to the wind now. Sundowns. Matzi. Bukami. A drop of the shoulder. Too much on the pass though for Jahidi. Disappointed at looking at Tanyart there. Get the pass she was hoping for from Amamu. Mpane. Tanyart, Mama to her left, fouled by Makupela. She too is going to have her name taken. Caught the left foot of Tanyart, so she's hopping around after that challenge. ASFAR are going to make a change here, their first of the night. Huda El Mestur about to come on. Question is, who will she replace? Well, it's going to be Gislan Chiri struggling with that knock, and ASFAR taking no risks with the trophy. Now within a touching distance. Well, it was Gislan Chiri who said, "We're here to compete and beat the best." They are 7 minutes plus stoppage time away from doing just that, as Huda El Mestor comes on late on. Just her third appearance to start the past 2 games, in fact, for the youngster. Just 17 years of age, El Mestor. Rapper, should try here. Shorts too, 10 yards. Flamini comes out and does well. Mestor, Damos. Lovely weighted pass from the youngster. Bukami trying to do it again, unsuccessful on that occasion. Morifi still has some energy in those legs. Shwena Morifi on the same page though as McGree. Rabba. Draidi and Barney. She certainly hasn't given up the fight. Schmidt. Matandi dispossessed by Bukami. El Mestor. Yards. Slightly overhit. Amamu nearly latching onto it. Mestor losing her balance. Morifi. Doesn't have too many options, but not surprising with the 2 players less that Sundowns have. Mudwani. Oh, brilliantly done by Tanyat once more. Can she set Draidi clear here? She can. Draidi surely to wrap it up. And that it is. It's 3-0. And you can carve that name, ASFAR, onto the trophy now. There's no coming back for Sundowns. If there was any question, there certainly isn't anymore. It's a second of the night, a 5th in total. Tournament leading a scorer to Samet Draidi, rolling it beyond Adelaide Lamini. Out again with the assist, releasing Draidi. She steered it unerringly beyond Dlamini to make victory assured. The odds were always stacked against Sundowns after they went a goal and a player down. And ASFAR have been clinical in taking advantage. They needed the heroics of Eremici late on in that semi-final against Bielsa Queens to hold on for a 1-0 win. They have dominated this evening against the Sundowns side by and large. Has played most of the match with at least one player less. Reduced to 9, just minutes into the second half. Been quite a few stoppages in this second period, so it could be a fair bit of time added on, but it's not going to change the outcome of this match. Amamu. Bukami to roll under her foot. Tandy strikes El Mestor. Final touch off on Mugalula. No, she was sent off late in the 2021 final at Regina Mugalula. Looks like she's going to see this one out tonight, but two of her teammates have instead received their marching orders. Have a little flick, but Mestor couldn't get anything on it. Schmidt. Acupella. Bane. So 6 minutes of additional time to be played here in Rabat. All that's really left now, though, is for ASFAR to see out the remaining minutes. They are going to make another late change here. Hasna Tufik set to come on, but it could be a fourth for ASFAR. Adraidi, Bukami, 10 yards. Stays on her feet, 10 yards. Puts it in, and it's spilt by the keeper, and it is a fourth. And it's a hat-trick for Intisam Adraidi. Oh, what a night it is to remember for the ASFAR forwards. Completes her treble in stoppage time. It's been a chastening experience for Mamelodi Sundowns. That sweet, sweet revenge for ASFAR, particularly those involved in the Africa Cup of Nations final in July. Slipped through the hands of Dlamini. There was Adraidi once more. 10 outs at the origin of it. Steering into the roof of the net, Adraidi to make it 4-0 late on. Everything that could have gone wrong for Sundowns has gone wrong this evening. It's been a horror show for them. And a dream 90 minutes for ASFAR. Oh, he can afford to smile now, Mohamed Aliwa. The job well and truly done. They did make a change as well. The second one, ASFAR. Duha Amamu coming off. And the first appearance of the tournament for Hasna Tufik, 22 years of age. It's going to be a long trip back home for Mamelodi Sundowns. High hopes of defending their title. It was plain sailing in the group stage, and they did enough to see off Simba Queens in the last four. Which is plain and simply has not been their night tonight. Plenty for Jerry Shabalala to dwell over. Akipela. Kana, Schmidt. I said after the semi-final against Simba that the matches you play serve as a learning lesson. This one certainly has been a crash course in discipline. They will go home at Sundowns. Plenty to reflect on. Could yet get worse for them. El Nestor this time. I mean, he does hold on to it at the second attempt. There's Rani to the last minute now. Rani. Flat out on her feet. The exertions are playing with just the 9 players. Certainly taking their toll for the South Africans. And there goes the final whistle. ASFAR of Morocco, the 2022 CAF Women's Champions League title winners. They have thumped Mamelodi Sundowns by 4 goals to 0. The reigning champions dethroned. Derailed by 2 red cards in the final. It was always going to be an almighty struggle for them. ASFAR taking full advantage. And the second edition of the Women's Champions League, won by the Moroccans on home soil. Not quite sure it's sunk in yet for Mohamed Aloua. Just sitting, thinking things over in the dugout, but the beaming smiles across the faces of his players, worthy winners of tonight's final. New experience for Mamelodi Sundowns. They've never been beaten in this competition until now. It's gone 9 games without defeat. How that run was ended in emphatic fashion this evening. It was always going to end in agony for one side, but I don't think that Mamelodi Sundowns could quite have foreseen how badly things would go wrong for them tonight. A lap of honour being performed by ASFAR in front of their adoring fans. It's been quite a year for African women's football. Morocco hosted the Africa Cup of Nations in July. Record crowds on hand to watch Morocco reach the final. They finished runner-up then. They were not to be denied this evening. Much of that squad formed by ASFAR players. And they have avenged that loss in some style. Well, that's a tearful ending for Sundowns. Abdessamah Draidi, player of the match.
صراحة
Hat-trick heroics.
إحساس ما كيتصورش والله، إحساس زوين أنك تاخدي مرأة المقابلة وفي نفس الوقت تاخدي تماركي الهاتريك ونفس الوقت تاخدي لاكوب. الحمد لله هذا إنجاز تاريخي اللي كنهدي كاع جميع مكونات فريق الجيش الملكي وكنهدي كاع الجمهور اللي جا ساندنا. الحمد لله غنبقاو غاديين في هذه السكة ديال الانتصارات وإن شاء الله ما يكون الخير إن شاء الله. شكرا.
Well, a hat-trick and the trophy. It couldn't get much better for Abdessamah Draidi. She'll also finish as the competition's leading scorer with 6 goals. Not sure what the cheering is about, but Patrice Motsepe, the CAF president, marching on from up in the stands. The party just getting started for the Moroccans. I suspect this may well be a congratulatory call for Mohamed Aliwa. What a job he has done as coach of this ASFAR side. On 47 of their past 50 games domestically. Pretty much unstoppable in the Moroccan league. And now they have toppled Africa's finest as well in the Women's Champions League, taking down Mamelodi Sundowns, and how they did it as well, remarkable. As here's a Rabah, the ASFAR captain, waiting to take over as well. As Aliwa passes the phone across to her. A delight for her, 36 years of age. A old head in the ASFAR squad, and she's been a rock throughout the tournament. Conceded just the once in 5 matches of the hosts. Again, just worth mentioning once more the injury problems they had coming in to the tournament. Mojuslan at Chebak after an Achilles tendon operation. Joint top scorer at the Africa Cup of Nations in July. Let's have a look at the final statistics here. The 2 red cards, the statistic right down at the bottom. Well, that was impossible for Sundowns to overcome. Once they were down to 9 players early on in the second half, it was always going to be an almost impossible task for them. Sana Masudi was also missing throughout this tournament for ASFAR, as was Hanan El Haj. Masudi was the only ever player to score a hat-trick last year. So that was until tonight's final. Her feat emulated by Abdessamah Draidi. So ASFAR going through the group stage with maximum points. 5 goals scored, just the one it conceded. As for Mamelodi Sundowns, well, they kicked things off with a narrow 2-1 win over Bayelsa Queens of Nigeria. And then thumped Wadi Degla, the only other team to return from last year's tournament, aside from tonight's 2 sides in their second group game. And Sundowns easing through as group winners after thrashing TP Mazembe 4-0. So all look to be very much in place for Sundowns. So then got past Simba Queens to set up this showdown with ASFAR. 4 wins from 4 for both teams, coming in at 2 with the final. And it was one-sided in the end tonight. ASFAR punishing Mamelodi Sundowns for their indiscipline. Intasim Droidi with the second hat-trick ever in the CAF Women's Champions League. No bigger stage to do it on than the final. Well, they were in fact speaking to the Moroccan king, the ASFAR coach Mohamed Aliwa and Aziza Rabah. Patrice Masepe making his way down ahead of the trophy presentation. Fouzi Lekja, head of the Royal Moroccan Football Federation. On your screen there. Oh, she's still smiling in defeat. Mbanani Mbane. Way being performed by some of those in the stands, plenty of whom have stayed for the presentation here. There is the trophy that will be placed into the hands of ASFAR captain Aziza Rabah in a few minutes' time. Khadija Eremichi making her way up onto the stage. The best goalkeeper award presented to her. She has been superb throughout, conceding just the once.
And next we have the trophy of the
coming
top
up
scorer
big when
of
it
the
mattered
tournament,
most as well.
which is awarded to player number 9 from ASFAR, Ibtisam Jraidi.
She'll be joined up on the stage by the hat-trick hero from this evening, Ibtisam Jraidi, who ends as the tournament's leading scorer with 6 goals, twice on the score sheet in the group stage. And got the winner against Bayelsa Queens in the semi-finals.
والآن سيداتي سادتي نقدم لكم
up in style
أفضل لاعبة لبطولة
with a
دوري
hat-trick
أبطال
tonight.
إفريقيا للسيدات المغرب 2022. And now we present you, ladies and gentlemen, the best player of the tournament, player number 11 from ASFAR, Fatima Tagnout.
And Fatima Tagnout winning the Best Player award. She too has been absolutely sensational over the course of the past 2 weeks in Morocco. Finishing with 3 goals, including the opener in tonight's game. All those coming from the penalty spot. Worthy recipients of the Best Player awards, no doubt about that.
نمر إلى آخر جائزة فردية هذا المساء للاعب النظيف. The last individual trophy for this evening, the Fair Play Award that goes to Team Bielsa Queens.
And the Fair Play Awards goes to the Nigerians, Bielsa Queens. They finished 3rd after getting the better of the Simba Queens by a 1-0 in yesterday's 3rd place playoff.
دعونا نرحب بحكام ومراقب مباراة المركز الثالث والمباراة النهائية لدوري أبطال إفريقيا للسيدات المغرب 2022. Let us welcome on the podium the match official of 3rd place match and the final of the Women's Champions League Morocco 2022.
So we'll have all the officials from this weekend's games, both the 3rd place playoff and tonight's final. Quite an eventful 90 minutes this evening for Vincentia Amadome, the Togolese match referee. Certainly kept busy. Showing those 2 red cards to Mamelodi Sundowns. So the officials receiving their medals as well for all they've played in this tournament. Not to be overlooked at all. Crowds are sensing the occasion is almost upon them.
سيداتي سادتي الآن مع تسليم الميداليات البرونزية للفريق الحائز على المركز الثالث لدوري أبطال إفريقيا للسيدات المغرب 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, now the bronze medals for the 3rd place team of the Women's Champions League Morocco 2022. Team Bielsa Queens.
We do get to the trophy. Bielsa Queens will be given their medals for finishing at 3rd place on their tournament debut. One of 5 teams to appear for the first time. Just this 2nd edition of the CAF Women's Champions League. They will take home $200,000 US dollars, along with Simba Queens by virtue of reaching the semi-finals. All teams taking part guaranteed a minimum of $100,000. So the teams that finished bottom of groups A and B taking home that amount, $150,000 for the sides that finished third. Check of 250,000 for Mamelodi Sundowns as runners-up, and 400,000 US dollars. The check that will be made out to ASFAR for their superb display this evening. That's landed them the Women's Champions League title.
سيداتي سادتي، الآن مع تسليم الميداليات الفضية للفريق الحائز على المركز الثاني لدوري أبطال إفريقيا للسيدات المغرب 2022. Next, the silver medal for the team that finished in second place
the
at the
consolation
CAF
prize.
Champions League Morocco 2022.
Silver medals for Mamelodi Sundowns. Just have to accept they aren't really at the races tonight. Huge disappointment after coming into the final with such momentum. Fantastic record as well. Their record 5-0 win over Wadi Degla in the group stage. Something of a distant memory now, so we're almost hammered by the same margin tonight. Second meeting between Sundowns and ASFAR, vastly different from the first, almost exactly a year ago. That finished goalless in the group stage. ASFAR running out comfortable winners a year on at home. Now should be the moment.
سيداتي سادتي، مع تسليم الميداليات الذهبية للفريق الفائز بدوري أبطال إفريقيا للسيدات المغرب 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, now the gold medals for the winners of the CAF Women's Champions League Morocco 2022. فريق الجيش الملكي.
So it is going to be the goalkeeper, Khadija Eremichi, who leads them up onto the stage. Nice to see that so many have stayed behind as well to applaud their heroes. What a moment this is for ASFAR. And in particular, those who were on the losing side in the Africa Cup of Nations final at this same ground less than 4 months ago. That would have been a bitter pill to swallow. This will go a long way to wiping away those tears. We also have a first appearance at the FIFA World Cup to look forward to next year. The first North African side to compete in the women's global showpiece. They're looking to make a mark on their debut. Ziza Rabah just being held back for the time being. Just then at Shebak, unfortunately, injury ruling her out of the entire tournament, but still part of the squad, receiving her winner's medal.
Please welcome the captain of ASFAR, who will receive the trophy of the second edition of the CAF Women's Champions League Morocco 2022 from the CAF president.
And Aziza Rabah about to be handed the Champions Trophy here by Patrice Motsepe. And now the celebrations can begin. The ticker tape pouring out of the night sky here in Rabat. ASFAR, the host representative, emerging as the 2022 CAF Women's Champions League winners, demolishing Mamelodi Sundowns 4-0 in the final. Making sure everyone's a part of the celebrations. So the ASFAR women's team joined the men's in becoming crowned African champions 37 years on. ASFAR have reached the summit of the men's game in 1985. Now the women's side on the top step of the podium a year after finishing third in the inaugural edition.
African football and the Rock Organizing Committee, we would like to thank you for your support.
Everyone getting a turn to raise the trophy aloft. And lining up for the all-important photo as well. Amici front and centre. 10 yards as well.